Hello, this is the second lesson of ours and the ninth week. So we start the sixth unit with the vocabulary section. What we see is read the film reviews and complete them with the correct words. I'm going to read and fill in the gaps. Of course, you should watch this video after you have completed the exercise. If you haven't, then please resume. Dunkirk, Bill's film reviews. Dunkirk is a war film directed by Christopher Nolan, set in World War II during a particularly difficult battle and rescue mission. Nolan has used a lot of actors and extras to make this a story about many different people, so there isn't one star here. Extras. And there isn't one star here. That being said, my favorite performance is definitely Tom Hardy's, as a pilot who doesn't give up even when his plane has crashed. It's a very exciting film, scary at times, and definitely violent, so I wouldn't recommend it for all ages. The soundtrack, composed by Hans Zimmer, is really intense, and Zimmer has done an amazing job of making the music the perfect background for all the different stories. Let's write soundtrack. I will say that having so many characters made the plot very complicated, and that made Dunkirk very difficult to follow. All in all, I enjoyed Dunkirk, and I would definitely recommend it. By the way, I also recommend it. It was a great movie. It was fantastic and very realistic. Wonder Woman. I'd been looking forward to Wonder Woman since I saw the trailer earlier this year. It didn't disappoint me. One of the biggest problems with an action film is that normally there are a lot of special effects and all the digital stuff that can make films look a bit silly and unreal. In this case, however, the script is so well written that even the explosions and the superhero costumes didn't annoy me. Let's write special effects. And script. Gal Gadot plays Diana. They never call her Wonder Woman, a heroine who leaves her perfect island to help humans during the World War II. Here, Wonder Woman becomes more of a historical film, and Diana finds the way men treat her very strange. This creates a lot of funny moments. My favorite scene is one in which Diane complains about her long skirts being really impractical to fight in. Diane tries to be both strong and kind as she and her friends search for Ares, the god of war. The film studio has confirmed that there will be a sequel to Wonder Woman, and I can't wait to see it. See and sequel. Classic film fan. Seven Samurai. I had read only good things from critics about Akira Kurosawa's classic film, Seven Samurai, so I was very excited to finally watch it. I watched it in Japanese with English subtitles because I don't think it has been dubbed into English. Let's write subtitles. And dubbed. I was very surprised by this film. It isn't a comedy, but it has some very funny moments. Comedy. I think I imagined it was going to be a boring drama, and instead it was moving and beautiful. Seven Samurai is set in Japan in 1586 and tells the story of seven warriors who decide to defend a village against thieves. At first they do it for money, but then they get to know the people in the village and they really care about them. Each character is very different, but they all become good friends, and the cast do a really good job of showing you change in their relationships. Even if you don't like old films or films in black and white, I think this is one of those special films that everyone should watch. Okay. Oh, I think I have missed one. One of the big problems with an action film. Okay, so let's get going with the 6P vocabulary, the body. Look at the photos, write the correct verb and label the part of the body for each one. The second one, the verb is throw, and the body part is back. And the second one, the action is clap, and the body part used is hands. Whisper is the verb to be written down in 4, and the body part is the lips. In picture 5, the man stares, so the verb is to stare. And which body part does he use? Of course, the eyes. In the 6th picture, the woman is biting some kind of a meal. So, I think it's a cake, by the way. So, bite is the verb, while the body part is the teeth. When we take a look at the 7th picture, the guy kicks the ball with his leg. When we take a look at picture 8, we see a boy actually, tasting an ice cream with his tongue. Taking a look at picture 9, we see a woman smile. And she uses her mouth. On picture 10, a guy points at somewhere with his finger. With his index finger. From the hands, I can't figure out whether they belong to a guy or a woman, but he or she touches the clothes with his or her hands. Actually, thumb, let's say, because the pointer points to the thumb. And in picture 12, a child smells a flower with his nose. Okay, now we will be starting with the grammar section. Let's take a look at the instruction on 6A grammar. We see that the activity is about passives and it incorporates the use of all tenses. Complete the sentences with the correct passive form of the verbs in brackets. Write the answers in the column on the right. Okay, let's do it. The first two have already been done for you. In Beauty and the Beast, the part of Belle was played by Emma Watson. Every year, the Academic Awards ceremony is watched by millions of people. The scene had to be shot in the studio because of bad weather. I couldn't speak to the director because he was being interviewed by journalists when I arrived. Here is something important. When we turn continuous sentences, I don't say present continuous, I don't say past continuous either. All the continuous tenses, the verb is used in the third form besides being added between the be form and the third verb form. Being is here because it gives the meaning of continuity here. The continuous meaning is supplied by the being auxiliary verb. The fifth one. Has the thief been caught yet? I don't think so. The police are still looking for him. Have you ever been told a secret that you couldn't keep? The seventh one. This bank has been robbed twice since it opened last year. The eighth one. When Jack arrived at the meeting, the decision had already been made. We used past perfect here, past perfect passive, because the antecedent sentence is in past simple and it happened after the second sentence, after the action in the second sentence. So first the decision had been made, then Jack arrived at the meeting. Or after the decision had been made, Jack arrived at the meeting. Okay, then the next one, the ninth one. Our flat is being painted at the moment. Everything's in a real mess. He's being painted. Again, because it's a continuous passive, we use being auxiliary verb to indicate that the action is still going on. To indicate continuity, we use being here. The 10th one, although Mark thought the interview had gone really well, he wasn't offered the job. He was not offered the job. Again, we use past simple here because this is the second action in terms of its time. I mean, the interview had gone really well is the action that took place earlier than he wasn't offered the job. When does this book have to be returned to the library? Have to be returned. When we got back to the car park, our car wasn't there. It had been stolen. Okay, my favorite film, Sully. Section B. Circle the correct form, active or passive. The film Sully, by the way, it was a really good film, again, starring Tom Hanks. I again recommend it to you to watch. The film Sully is based on the true story of US pilot Chesley Sullenberger, who is known to his friends as Sully. He doesn't know, his friends know, so he is known. Tom Hanks plays the part of Sully, and the film was directed by Clint Eastwood. Some of them have already been marked. I'm erasing the marks. Sorry guys, I haven't realized they were there before I started shooting. One freezing winter's morning, Sully flies out of LaGuardia Airport in New York. A few minutes into the flight, however, the plane is hit by birds. The plane doesn't hit, it is hit by birds, and both engines lose power. Here, the engines is the agent of the sentence, the doer, the subject, and it does the action. So, it's an active sentence. Let's say it's hit. Oops. The engines lose power. Sully doesn't think there's enough time to return to the airport, so he lands the plane on the Hudson River near Midtown Manhattan. He lands the plane. The plane is landed by him. Amazingly, nobody is killed. Kill is an action verb, and you kill somebody. That's why we used passive voice here. and all 155 people on board are rescued by nearby boats. Afterwards, however, the National Transportation Safety Board believes the accident is due to the pilot's mistake. The rest of the film focuses on Sully's fight to clear his name. Look guys, to clear one's name. This is an important verb to learn. We don't only learn the words, the vocabulary that we study on, but also all the words that we don't know within the text. And this is important. The film received great reviews from critics and was nominated for an Oscar. We say was nominated because the film can't nominate itself. It can only be nominated by somebody else, so somebody can nominate it. Okay, 6b, grammar, models of deduction, might, can't, must. What we call deduction, what is specified by the word deduction is çıkarım. Circle the correct verbs. Well, when we use might, we mean that the deduction has a possibility of about 50%. So, it might, if we say something might happen, then it can happen or not. When we use can't, then the possibility of the deduction is about 95 to 99%. But it's a negative deduction, of course, because it's not can, it's can't. When we use can in terms of deduction, it has the same power as indicated by might. And when we use must to indicate deduction, we mean that the deduction correction rate should be at around 95%. So when I say, where is Esma? She's not here. Oh, so she must be home. So we think that Esma is at home like about 95% with a 95% possibility. Let's take a look. Circle the correct words. Don't look now, but isn't that Karen Marshall over there? Where? At that table by the window. No, it can't be. She went to live in Boston. It can't be. She went to live in Boston. But I'm sure it's Karen. I suppose it might be her. But if it is, she looks much thinner than she used to. Well, it must be 5 years since we last saw her. Someone can change a lot in 5 years. We say it must be 5 years because we talk about a greatly powerful deduction here. So the possibility must be high. You're right, it's Karen, but who do you think the man is? He can't be her husband, can he? Because there's little possibility that he can be her husband. No, he can't. They broke up years ago and haven't spoken to each other since. It can be her new boyfriend or her son. So the possibility is 50-50, we understand from this deduction, of course. Shall we go over and find out? Let's go to the second part. Complete the conversations with must, might not, or can't. Sometimes there are more than one possible answer. The first dialogue. There's the second phone that Stacy has bought this year. She must have a lot of money then. She's a student, so she can't be that rich. It's a powerful deduction whose possibility is very high. And in terms of negativity, in this example, she cannot be that rich. She must have generous parents then. It's again a strong deduction because there's nothing stronger to think about. The second dialogue. Do you know where Charlie is? Well, she can't be far away. His phone is on the desk. Çok uzakta olamaz. Olmamalı. Çünkü telefonu masada. So it's about a 95% possibility. Any idea where she can be? He can be or he might be. These are both used to indicate 50% possibility. She can be or might be talking to the boss or he. Again, we need a 50% because we are not sure about what we're talking about here. Can or might be in the photocopying room. Do you want me to go and look for him? Here comes the last dialogue. I missed the call and I don't recognize the number, so it can't be from anyone you know. Again, here is a strong negative deduction, strong negative possibility. Numarası yoksa tanıdığı biri olamaz. Olmasını beklemeyiz. Oh, no. It's that company who interviewed me last week. They must be ringing to offer me the job. I'm not surprised. I did a really good interview. We use must because there's nobody else that the talker, that the speaker thinks of. So, it must be a high possibility. Well, don't be too confident because they might or can be calling to say you didn't get the job. Again, there are two chances here that he got the job or that he didn't get the job. So, the possibility rate is 50-50. We can use can or might to indicate this kind of possibility. There's only one way to find out. The last dialogue. This steak can't be for me because it looks medium rare and I asked for a well done steak. It must be mine then. I ordered a medium rare steak. I think it's clear. So, this is the end of the video for the second week. And there might be some obscurities about why we have answered the way we answered some kind of questions. If there are any circumstances like this, please feel free to call me or message me anytime on WhatsApp so I can turn to you whenever I'm available. Take care, guys. I'm still missing you. Bye.